Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. What a game we have for you here. The first meeting of the year between two of the NFL's most hostile divisional rivals. This matchup always among the most anticipated games of the regular season. It's the Bears going up against the Packers. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup.
We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
No two NFL teams have played more often than the Bears and Packers, and we're underway from Lambeau. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
I remember meeting him when he was playing at Cal, and I remember walking away thinking, instead of having Rodgers stitched on the back of his jersey, it should just say confidence, because that's how he felt about his own abilities and his ability to elevate a team.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run for the first time with Lacy. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
They go play action for Lacy. Now Rodgers. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Rodgers to throw on second down. Finding time. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. Here's the offensive unit coming out onto the field in just a moment. Randall Cobb, very good at wideout.
Went to college to be a quarterback. Discovered his talents couldn't be limited to one position. He's a 1,000-yard receiver every year for his quarterback.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. He's got time in the pocket. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback. Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Mike Daniels. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
The hook up good to Marquise Wilson. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And just like that, it's third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
All right, here we go. No, check, Patriot.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's got time. And Jeffrey's got it. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there for the Bears on third. 55 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackle was there right away for a loss of yardage.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Play clock winding down. Out of the gun now on third down. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So, of course, they wanted to find the end zone, but when you go on the road and your first drive results in points, I think you're pretty happy.
You have to be, because you've taken it to the home team in this case. And while you may not have shut up the home crowd, you've quieted them down a little bit. Good way to start.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Bears defense now back out onto the field. And a big reason they've got the lead here in the first half, some of these hits we're going to see here.
Almost like they're a group of superheroes, right? Something out of a comic book. Boom, pow, biff. They are really playing well and making things happen on their side of the ball.
They begin the drive with Lacey. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. On second down, here's Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. Rodgers again now. Surveying the field. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That's a bold strike right there, taking it downfield and putting some air on it. But how about the coverage? Able to get his hands across the receiver and bat the ball down.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just...
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there, an 80-yard touchdown, and the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb, spinning past him. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Look at the time. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And Rodgers has it over on the right side. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle? The Bears have put an extra defender in the secondary on third down.
Yep, they're in the nickel. From the gun on third down, Rodgers. Open man, the tight end Rodgers. A gain of 13 and also a first down.
And Richard Rodgers makes the grab, and let's face it, it's going to follow him the rest of his career. The Hail Mary he caught to beat the Lions in 2015 in Detroit, pretty memorable play.
Those Lions fans, they just don't like you right now if they heard that.
I didn't mean to bring it up to, pull the Band-Aid off the wound there. I was just trying to praise Richard Rodgers. Yeah, they're going to be mad at me.
And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They go play action for Lacy. Now Rodgers. Complete left side, the tight end Rodgers. And he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Nice catch by the tight end, Richard Rodgers, and, you know, it came from the quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. Some things just write themselves, don't they?
That's exactly right. Both spelled R-O-D-G-E-R-S, for those wondering.
There you go.
Rodgers now on first down. He finds Randall Cobb on the completion. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On second down, Lacey. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Second and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and we'll still get the first down. They love being physical.
319.
On first down, Rodgers. And he finds the tight end, Rodgers. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it second and short.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
He was looking for Jamison Crowder there, and it's third and short. They tried the fade there to the back corner, and Charles, you know very well that can be hard to stay in bounds on that route.
So difficult because you have to start the route to give yourself enough space to actually fade away from the defender and stay in bounds, just as you described. If the defender's able to take away that little bit of cushion, it's often hard to come down inbounds with the ball and complete the play.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here.
58.
And again, it's Rodgers. Finding time. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. And nobody was open downfield there. Looked like a pretty clear throwaway.
Yeah, definitely was that. I'm wondering why there wasn't intentional grounding. I know they're saying there's a receiver there in the area. Those dumb quarterbacks, they get away with everything.
Spoken like a true defensive back, Mr. Davis.
Did that come out?
It did.
Okay.
Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on third and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side.
That is caught by Cobb. And it's a Packer touchdown. Randall Cobb, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers have cut it back within a score. So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this off? Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Kenny Clark in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground? It's
a 6-yard pickup to get him back to the original line of scrimmage with third down coming up. 10 yards to go on third. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And it'll be Packer football here, first down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
1 quarter down, 10-7 our score. We're with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They've got a second down and 8 to start things out. One back is Lacy. And he'll get it up the middle. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now a first down carry. It's Lacy. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Rodgers to throw on second down. Throwing right, and that's complete. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. It's a pickup of 19, and it'll be a Green Bay first down.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Floating one incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Richard Rodgers, that time. And it's second down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Rodgers will try again on second down. And Rodgers has it over on the right side. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up a third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. Rodgers to throw once more. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds, incomplete. So now on fourth down, Mike McCarthy will turn to his field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good, and that will knot us up at 10. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. And he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Offense just a yard away from the line they need to gain at 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1, you know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete.
Pass interference, defense.
So pass interference on the defense. And Charles, this is a penalty we see all the time.
The offenses know what they're doing. They know how to create great matchups. And defenders, if you're not there in time, they will throw the flag.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Looking to throw. Steps away to his left. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Nick Perry in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And now because of the sack, it's 3rd and goal from the 14. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And open is Jeffrey. Touchdown, Chicago. Alshon Jeffrey, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears have broken the tie.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. They'll run it now out of the gun. Ooh, with a juke. And he's brought down.
Holding offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Rodgers now to throw. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Second down now after the pass completion. They come out here in the eye. On second down, here's Rodgers. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Now that result is no surprise. This team is bringing back memories of what? The 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. Those teams were so great against the run, they made you abandon any plans of doing that when you played against them.
Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie up to make the tackle. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Two receivers left, one to the right. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. He's got his target. It's Cobb. 18 yards there and a first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Rodgers now on first down. He'll set up the screen to Lacy. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make this a second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Rodgers to throw on second down. That is caught inside the 5. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Eddie Lacy, the one he was trying to get it to. That'll bring up second down. Second down here after the incomplete pass. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Rodgers to throw once more. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
And that's why defenders are often frustrated offensive guys. Actually made the catch, looked good doing it, but couldn't get his feet down in order to finish off the takeaway.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. So third and goal. The defense in the dime.
Can still bring pressure.
Rodgers now on third and goal. And that will be incomplete as well. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. Yeah, they have had success on the ground, really as a team, doing well carrying the football. So maybe a little less pressure on his shoulders as the quarterback.
Any pressure he's carrying right now, that's self-inflicted, right? He's taking it on. He doesn't need to. Continue to do what you just said. Let everyone else carry the football. That's been effective. Don't have to worry about him throwing the ball in all the situations now. That's got to be a good feeling if he just relaxes and lets it keep coming to him.
Yeah, relax and enjoy the second quarter lead right now.
Let's go.
Back to throw now on first down. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wondering about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game.
So here we go, a third down after the second down pass completion.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Calling no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on third and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to air one out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we reach halftime here in a 4-point game as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. Both teams have played smart with the football in the first half. Each team has avoided that one big turnover to this point, and it's a reason we have a very tight game at halftime. So let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Now 1st and 10, he's going to get into the open, and this...
Well, we're going to let you off a little easy there, LR. Halftime interrupted, and we are ready to get to this third quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And some space here.
game like this, you're fighting, you're scratching, you're clawing, you're hammering away. That return has the feel of maybe cracking the rock and giving them a chance to get a big-time advantage.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Now Myers for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Second down following the run. Again, it's Lacy. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. A dump off to Lacy. And he's brought down after a good gain. That goes for a gain of 31.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
Now Rodgers will handle Lacy. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They go play action for Lacy. Now Rodgers. And that's incomplete.
The defensive coordinator came into this game with a plan to get to the quarterback with whatever type of pressure is necessary. It's working to perfection for him today.
The line to gain is the 33 on third down. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Wide open receiver complete. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Rodgers with a give. It's Lacy. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Say what you want about Eddie Lacy, He is really important to his team, and right now they're holding him down well below his normal yardage total, and his team's losing the game.
And we talk about it so often, how tough he is to bring down, but they found a way to do it.
Yeah, I think gang tackling, getting a lot of people to him, that's the key to everything. Not many guys can take him down one-on-one consistently. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So that's 3 field goals for him now, but heck, he's not even halfway to his career best of 7.
Seems like the 7 field goal games are the kind of games I always get assigned to in my other job. Let's hope for this offense's sake they can start cashing in on a few of these drives.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And to the left side here, Wilson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. They'll get 17 yards there. And it'll be a Chicago 1st down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. Lucky Whitehead, his intended target. 3rd down here. When tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
They run it again with Lacy. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Pulled in at the 24. Touchdown, Chicago! Their dangerous wide receiver. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
When you got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead is up to 15 now. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and didn't do it very often.
It gets it over the middle to Cobb. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Lacy. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
They stay on the ground on 1st down with Lacy. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while...
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now a 20th carry of the game for Lacy. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. Richard Rodgers, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers get a score closer. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Back now at Lambeau. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out.
Foster, offense. Still 2nd down.
Second down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's grabbed over the middle by White. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Still in search of the 1st down after that last completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And Jeffrey's got it. And he's brought down after a good gain. And that goes as a gain of 37 on third down. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like. Like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Give the tackle there to Morgan Burnett. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
The 22 is the line to gain here on third down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. He'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Peterson alone in the backfield. Back to rush coming, and he's taken down. Bud Dupree in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon.
Well, in my time in football, I've yet to see a playbook that draws up offensive plays designed to lose yardage. A running play loses yardage on first down. They try and throw it, take a sack on second down. What can the offensive coordinator come up with here on third down?
He'll look to throw. That's caught at the 3. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Myers able to knock it through, and that will extend their lead even further. The offense back out there now. Let's see what they can put together. Now they'll run it on the toss. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. Second down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete.
That's just flat out a terrific play because it's rare that you see a hitch route batted down. That means someone read that one really well and was right on the spot when the ball got to the receiver.
So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the... One receiver left, 2 to the right. On 1st down, Rodgers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Second down following the incompletion. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. Over the middle, Rodgers has it. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Shaq Thompson from that outside linebacker spot. He's able to get in there for a loss of 9.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Lacy. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
So this offense really needs to make something happen here late in the 4th with the football. Rodgers now on 1st down. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's brought down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st down in field goal range already. Back to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
So many offense want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. And here's motion again. And that's going to be 2 in a row.
False start, offense. Still 2nd down.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. He'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And his throw is incomplete. And just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game, although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't kept. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. That one looks like he'll throw here. Backing up. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Good job by the O-line. Quarterback had time to go through his checks. That's one you need to take advantage of.
A perfect situation, and they're unable to take advantage of it. When you have that much time to scan the field, you have to find an open receiver.
And let's see, the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on 3rd.
Could play coverage or bring pressure.
And he fires one, but incomplete. Marquise Wilson, the one he was trying to get it to. And it's 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been terrific so far. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Bears defense gearing up as they take the field. They've got a situation where a field goal ties it. How do you defend this? Because you obviously don't want to give up the touchdown. How aggressive do you get?
That's always the key, isn't it? Where is the line on aggressiveness to over-aggressiveness? And I think most coordinators are looking at it like run your regular defense, add some pressure packages, because really the 35-yard line is the one you really want to defend. At that point, you're thinking you're probably giving up 3. Anything outside of that, you feel like you've got a chance to hold them.
So they'll be in search of the proper amount of pressure. Movement there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
Here we go again.
Still 2nd down.
He's back to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Back to throw. He's got time. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will take this into enemy territory as he's out of bounds on the other side of midfield.
Similar to a slant, It's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
They'll look to throw. And Rodgers has it over on the right side. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So this brings up a 2nd and 2.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
Yeah, it's such a close game, a very big one. Room here to run. And he's brought down after a good gain. And 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. And quickly they get to the line. Back to throw, Rodgers. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. Oh, there's one you don't see often, the illegal forward pass.
And the reason we don't see it very often is the quarterback has to be totally beyond the line of scrimmage for the flag to come out. If any part of the quarterback is behind the line of scrimmage when he throws the ball, then it's not an illegal forward pass.
Now Rodgers. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute. Now the point after try for Santos. And that will make this a 4-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Now it's Lucky Whitehead on the return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts. Got to get out of bounds and keep the drive.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Fresh set of downs here. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Back to throw now on 1st down. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
Let's go. 3-19. Watch it now, Marty. Over.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And Jeffrey's got it. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Alshon Jeffrey finding the end zone on the game's final play. And the Bears have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Yeah, I know only one of them counts, but this one looks like it's going to lead to a victory. I know we're not supposed to count anyone out, but with that little bit of time left on the clock, it'd take almost a miracle for them to lose this one.
It would, and this is going to sound cliche. It's been such a great game. You just hate to see one side lose, but, hey, they earned it. Still got to be careful of a blocked return here on the extra point. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Well, that was a